and welcome to The Sinquiry, the channel where we review and discuss theories to your favourite movies. Today's Sinquiry focuses on the greatest Christmas movie ever, Violent Night. Only joking, the best Christmas movie ever is Love Actually. Yes, I'm serious, it really is I Will Fight You.
And he's got a big knob.
Shot in early 2022, Violent Night is what happens when a scriptwriter watches Home Alone and Die Hard in the same night before passing out in an eggnog-induced depression. Probably. And with a budget of $20 million, the film grossed $41.8 million at the box office, meaning we'll probably be seeing this one again next year. Now, with all that out the way, let's get to the plot. The film's cold open gives us the best gag throughout the film, in which the local Santa and a bartender discuss how Christmas still means something, while our protagonist, played by David Harbour of Newsroom and MCU fame, tells us that kids these days don't appreciate anything.
Ding, ding, ding. What do we have for her, Johnny?
After the local pair discover that their drinking buddy is actually the real jolly old fat man, they chase him onto the roof just in time for the bartender to receive an early Christmas present from Saint Nick himself.
Nice.
After this, we're introduced to the story's good guys, who are suffering from a bad case of boring subplot and poorly acting their way through a messy separation. We're also introduced to this film's Kevin McAllister, minus the jigsaw theories of course. Or maybe not, that might be a decision for you in the comments. Fast forward through a load of exposition and spliced in Santa moments, we learn that the Lightstones, the family that this film centres around, are rich, and shockingly, they're not the nicest people.
No way.
Now, while Santa is delivering the Lightstones' presents, the world's most unnecessary catering company, like, seriously, there's 7 members of this family and you're telling me they're too rich to buy a Subway platter? Anyway, the caterers are the bad guys, and they lock the mansion down in a very Die Hard-esque way, locating the secret vault and finalising any key plot points that the film has yet to flash out. From here, the rest of the movie is an amalgamation of jokes and quips, with a few fun kills dotted around the place, during which we find out that Harbour's Santa was a secret badass Viking. This is before, of course, he started sipping warm milk and poorly decorated cookies. And honestly, this plot point is the greatest choice and has me begging for a Ragnar Claus prequel. Also within the middle section of this film, we see that Santa's little helper, the youngest of the Lightstone clan, has watched everybody's favourite home intrusion movie way too many times, as she casually aids and abets in some Santy murder herself. After a few more twists and turns, and a lot of gory death, we find out that the treacherous rescue team, taken directly from Die Hard 2, snowmobiles and all, are here to help the villains and clear out the vault of cash. Now it's at this point that we learn that Jason Lightstone, father to Kevin McAllister's long-lost cousin Trudy Lightstone, has actually stolen the cash from the vault himself and plans to escape the family at the end of Christmas. Now honestly, if these plot points haven't lost you by now, well done you, because this was a real slog during the cinema view. The film finishes with a grand finale in which all big bads are dead, and honestly, John Leguizamo's death is fantastic, a real highlight of this movie. Santa also bites the big one during the final scene, succumbing to his numerous wounds from the evening's battles.
Wait. There's more.
Just as you think the movie's giving you the most depressing ending ever, Ragnar Claus is resurrected by Christmas magic, or something similar. Anyway, let's get to the ratings. Now for the ratings, we're going to separate this part into 3 separate categories. We'll rate the plot, then the casting, and finally, the enjoyability of the movie itself. For the plot, there are several unnecessary subplots that give this no-brain-needed flick a slightly annoying pacing. Despite this, it's easy enough to follow, and enjoyable enough as well. Some good action set pieces for a relatively low-budget film. We'll give the plot a 6 out of 10. Now the casting is a bit of a sticking point. A few supporting cast members who gave slightly wooden performances, but as a whole, I think it worked for the film. David Harbour is funny and enjoyable as Ragnar Claus and carries the film. Clammy performances from many of the villains are saved by timely deaths, although I will say the child lead seems slightly too old in modern times to be obsessed with Santa. Also, I don't think the big bad, played by John Leguizamo, quite fits in the movie, despite his fantastic death scene. Giving a Disney Channel TV movie performance, we'll give the casting a 5.7 out of 10. Finally, the enjoyability. This is a key part of any film rating, and you can pull apart plots and elements within a film to an inch of their life, but in the end, if it's enjoyable, it doesn't matter if the film is a critical darling or not. Now, I must say, I didn't expect much from this film going in, but I was impressed after leaving the theatre. Funny at parts with a Viking Santa Slayer, and I look forward to seeing the inevitable sequel before they run this franchise into the ground. We'll give the enjoyability a 7.5 out of 10. Overall, I think it's a good spin on the Christmas film genre. Yes, it recycles plot points from other films and, well, downright steals something out of Die Hard, but overall, it was fun. Aside from anything else, it provides the usual cheesiness that we come to expect from these kinds of films. A fun one to watch this year. However, I don't think we'll be adding this to the collection to traditionally start the Christmas period. We'll be giving Violent Night a 6.5 out of 10. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe and share with your friends. You can find us on all social media platforms at This Inquiry. And of course, don't forget to comment below with any films that you'd like to see us review next. Don't forget to support your local theatres. This has been This Inquiry.